The quantum core of the U.S. Athena hummed with barely contained power as Captain Diana Rodriguez stood on the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the approaching anomalies. After 20 years in the Space Force, she thought she'd seen everything, but these readings defied explanation. Engineering confirms the quantum shield matrix is stable. Captain Lieutenant James Harrison reported from his station, fingers dancing across the haptic interface. But we've never tested it against anything like this. The Athena represented humanity's greatest technological achievement, a warship equipped with experimental quantum technology that could theoretically match any threat in the galaxy. Today that theory would be tested. Multiple objects emerging from FTL. Captain Commander Natasha Patel's voice cut through the tension. Energy signatures unlike anything in our database. They're massive. The holographic display filled with dozens of angular shapes, their surfaces seeming to absorb light rather than reflect it. They moved with impossible precision, their formation suggesting not just intelligence, but a level of coordination that sent chills down Diana's spine. Status of Kepler colony. Diana demanded, thinking of the 15,000 civilians on the surface below. Shield generators at maximum capacity, Natasha responded. But if these readings are correct, the colony's conventional defenses won't hold against this level of technology. The unknown vessels accelerated toward Kepler 186's orbit, their intentions becoming clear as weapon systems began powering up. Diana had drilled for first contact scenarios throughout her career, but this was different. There would be no diplomatic exchanges, no peaceful overtures. These visitors had come for war. All hands to battle stations, Diana commanded, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. Deploy quantum shields and begin emergency evacuation protocols for the colony. The Athena's revolutionary defense system engaged, surrounding the ship in a shimmering field of probabilistic energy. Dr. Raj Kumar, the ship's chief scientist, had explained it as existing in multiple states simultaneously, theoretically making it impenetrable to conventional weapons. Theoretically was about to be tested. The first blast from the alien fleet struck with devastating force, but the quantum shield held, dispersing the energy across countless probable states. The bridge crew watched in amazement as their experimental technology proved its worth. Shield efficiency at 98%, James reported, unable to hide his relief. The quantum matrix is adapting to their weapon signatures. Diana allowed herself a brief smile. Now let's show them what humanity's been working on. Target the lead vessel with the phase cannons. Let's see how they handle a little quantum uncertainty. The Athena's main weapons powered up, drawing energy directly from the quantum core. The phase cannons fired, their beams existing in multiple states until impact, making them nearly impossible to dodge or defend against. The lead alien ship's shields flared brilliant purple before failing, its hull breaching in a spectacular display of light and debris. The remaining vessels immediately adjusted their formation, their coordination revealing an almost hive-mind level of tactical awareness. "Captain, we're picking up a transmission," Natasha announced. It's unlike any language we've encountered, but the AI is attempting to translate." A harsh, mechanical sound filled the bridge, slowly resolving into words that made Diana's blood run cold. "We are the Voidborn. Your resistance is noted. Your technology will be absorbed. Your existence will end." "Like hell it will," Diana muttered. "Mr. Harrison, begin emergency protocols for the quantum core. Commander Patel, coordinate with colony defense. We need to buy time for the evacuation." The Voidborn fleet split into 3 groups, one moving to engage the Athena, one heading for the colony, and one maintaining position to cut off escape routes. Their strategy was brilliant, but they hadn't counted on human ingenuity. "Dr. Kumar," Diana called over the comm. "Remember that theory you had about using the quantum shield as a weapon? We need it now." "Captain, that's completely untested." Raj's voice carried equal parts excitement and concern. "The mathematical models suggest it could work, but the power requirements, could destroy us or save everyone. Diana finished. Sometimes the biggest risks carry the highest rewards. Begin the calculations. As the void-born ships opened fire, the Athena engaged in a deadly dance through space. Diana had trained her crew to perfection, and it showed. Every evasive maneuver was executed flawlessly, every return fire precisely targeted. The quantum shield continued to hold, but Diana knew they couldn't maintain this level of defense indefinitely. The Voidborn were learning, adapting, probing for weaknesses with each attack. Evacuation transports are launching from the colony, Natasha reported. Estimated 30 minutes until minimum safe distance. They'll never make it past that blockade, Diana realized. Unless. Dr. Kumar, how close are those calculations? Final modeling complete, Captain. But this is going to push the quantum core beyond all safety parameters. We'll only get one shot. Diana watched as another blast from the Voidborn fleet rocked the ship. The quantum shield flickered momentarily, a sign that even their most advanced technology had limits. Sometimes one shot is all we need, she said, standing from her command chair. All hands, prepare for emergency maneuvers. We're about to rewrite the books on space warfare. The Athena's quantum core began to pulse with increasing intensity, its energy readings climbing beyond design specifications. Diana could feel the ship straining around her, pushing the boundaries of what should be possible. But that's what humans did best. Push boundaries, defy expectations, and find ways to survive against impossible odds. As the Voidborn fleet closed in for what they thought would be their killing stroke, Diana gave the order that would change the course of human history. The quantum cascade ripped through space like a wave of possibility itself. Where once there was a single U.S. Athena, now dozens of probable versions of the ship existed simultaneously, each one as real as the next. The Voidborn fleet's coordinated attack patterns faltered as their targeting systems struggled to lock onto a vessel existing in multiple states at once. Quantum multiplication stable, Dr. Kumar reported, his voice trained with concentration. Each probability instance is combat-capable, but we have minutes at most before the core reaches critical levels. Diana watched as her gambit played out across the battlefield. Each version of the Athena opened fire with phase cannons, creating a web of quantum-uncertain attacks that the Voidborn couldn't predict or evade. 3 enemy ships exploded in rapid succession, their advanced shields useless against weapons that existed in all possible states until impact. Multiple Voidborn vessels breaking formation, Natasha announced. They're adapting. Energy signatures indicate they're attempting to match our quantum state. The enemy's response came swiftly. Several Voidborn ships began to shimmer, their hulls taking on a similar probabilistic nature. It wasn't as refined as the Athena's technology, but it was enough to start neutralizing their advantage. Evacuation transports at 40% completion, James reported. The colony's ground defenses are holding, but barely. Diana gripped her command chair as the ship, all versions of it, shuddered under renewed assault. Status of orbital defense platforms. Online but overwhelmed. Natasha responded. Station 3 just went dark. 4 and 7 are reporting critical damage. The Voidborn's tactical brilliance became apparent as they adapted to the quantum cascade. Their ships moved in patterns that accounted for all probable positions of the Athena, using mathematics so complex they had to be running on organic quantum computers. Dr. Kumar, can we maintain quantum multiplication? Diana asked, watching as one of their probability instances winked out of existence. Negative, Captain. Core temperature approaching maximum tolerance. We need to consolidate now or risk a complete shutdown. Diana's mind raced. The Voidborn were learning too quickly, adapting to humanity's most advanced technology in a matter of minutes. But adaptation worked both ways. Lieutenant Harrison analyzed their attack patterns. There has to be a common thread in how they're coordinating. James's fingers flew across his console. Their movements. They're perfectly synchronized, Captain. Too perfect. They're not just coordinating. They're sharing consciousness somehow. A quantum neural network, Dr. Kumar breathed. They're not just ships, they're nodes in a vast computational array. That's how they're adapting so quickly. Diana allowed herself a grim smile. Then let's give them too much to process. Commander Patel, prepare to transmit the entire contents of Earth's historical database directly into their network. Captain. Natasha looked confused. That's over a petabyte of information. Exactly. Dr. Kumar, can you use the quantum core to encode that data into a format their network will have to process? Yes, yes. Kumar's excitement was palpable. Their quantum neural network won't be able to distinguish it from tactical data. They'll have to process everything from ancient cave paintings to cat videos. The Athena consolidated back into a single ship, its quantum core redirecting power to the communications array. Diana watched as the Voidborn fleet continued their relentless advance, their ships moving with that unsettling synchronization. Transmitting now, Natasha announced. The effect was immediate and spectacular. The Voidborn fleet's perfect formation began to deteriorate as their shared consciousness struggled to process centuries of human culture, art, warfare, and innovation all at once. Ships began moving erratically, their coordinated attack patterns dissolving into chaos. It's working, James exclaimed. Their energy signatures are fluctuating. They can't maintain quantum coherence while processing that much data. Diana seized the moment. All weapons, target their command ship. Full power to phase cannons. The Athena's main weapons fired, the beams cutting through space with quantum-uncertain precision. The Voidborn command vessel's attempts at probabilistic defense failed as its computational network struggled with the flood of human history. The ship exploded in a cascade of quantum energy, taking 2 nearby vessels with it. Colony evacuation at 70%, Natasha reported. The remaining Voidborn ships are falling back to regroup. But Diana knew this was far from over. As the enemy fleet retreated to safe distance, their movements began to stabilize. They were adapting again, finding ways to filter out the excess data. Dr. Kumar, what's the status of the quantum core? Stabilizing, Captain, but we won't be able to attempt another cascade for at least 6 hours. Diana nodded, studying the tactical display. The Voidborn had lost nearly a third of their fleet, but their remaining ships were already beginning to show signs of new adaptation. The next phase of the battle would be even harder. They'll be back, she said quietly. And next time, they'll be ready for both our quantum technology and our information warfare. We need something they can't adapt to. Captain, James called out, his voice tight with concern. I'm detecting new energy signatures from the surface. The colony's quantum research facility. They're powering up something massive. Diana turned to the main view screen as new data streamed in. Whatever the colonists were preparing, it was either going to save them all or make things much, much worse. Open a channel to the facility, she ordered. Let's find out what other surprises humanity has in store for the Voidborn. The Quantum Research Facility's transmission crackled through the Athena's bridge speakers. Captain Rodriguez, this is Dr. Yuki Tanaka. We've been developing something here that might turn the tide. Dr. Tanaka, we're a little short on time. Diana responded, watching as the Voidborn fleet regrouped at the edge of the system. What exactly are we looking at? Project Prometheus, a quantum entanglement amplifier. We theorized that consciousness itself has quantum properties. If we're right, we can use it to directly interface with the Voidborn neural network. Commander Patel's eyes widened. You want to hack an alien hive mind? Not hack, Dr. Tanaka corrected. Communicate. Understanding goes both ways, but we need your ship's quantum core to power the transmission. Diana studied the tactical display. The Voidborn ships were arranging themselves into a new formation, one that seemed to ripple with probabilistic energy. They weren't just learning, they were evolving. If we divert power to your facility, we lose our quantum shields, Diana noted. That's one hell of a gamble, Doctor. The entire facility is hardened against quantum interference. Tanaka explained. We can protect the Athena within our shield envelope, but you'll need to get close. Very close. Lieutenant Harrison's console beeped urgently. Captain, Voidborn fleet is powering up weapons. They've adapted their entire battle group to quantum state. Diana made her decision. Dr. Kumar, plot us a course to the facility. Commander Patel, coordinate with colony defense to give us maximum coverage. Dr. Tanaka, I hope you're right about this. The Athena descended through Kepler 186's atmosphere, its hull glowing as it pierced the clouds. The Voidborn fleet pursued, their ships shifting through probability states like dark predators testing the waters. They're holding back, Natasha observed. Why aren't they pressing the attack? Because they're curious, Dr. Kumar suggested. Their neural network isn't just tactical. It's an advanced intelligence trying to understand us. The quantum research facility came into view, a sprawling complex of interconnected domes and towers surrounded by a shimmering quantum shield barrier. As the Athena approached, massive doors opened in one of the domes. That's a tight fit, Diana muttered. Mr. Harrison, think you can thread that needle? James's hands were steady on the controls, already calculating the approach vector, Captain. The Voidborn chose that moment to strike. Quantum-phased energy beams lanced through the atmosphere, splitting into multiple probability states before impact. The colony's defensive batteries responded, filling the sky with conventional fire. Shield generators at maximum. Kumar shouted as the Athena shuddered. We can't take many more hits like that. Diana watched as James guided their ship toward the facility entrance, his movements precise despite the chaos around them. Dr. Tanaka, whatever you're planning, we need it now. Quantum core synchronization beginning. Tanaka's voice was steady. Captain, I need your best telepath on the transmission frequency. Diana turned to her communications officer. Lieutenant Reeves, you're up. Get to the quantum lab. As the Athena settled into the facility's docking cradle, Diana felt the ship's power systems linking with the ground-based generators. The quantum cores hum changed pitch, harmonizing with the facility's own systems. Voidborn fleet holding position at high altitude, Natasha reported. They've surrounded the facility. No blind spots. Through the main viewer, Diana could see the alien ships hovering like storm clouds, their hulls rippling with dark energy. Whatever Dr. Tanaka was planning, it had better work fast. Quantum entanglement network online, Kumar announced. Lieutenant Reeves is connected to the transmission array. Diana watched as new data flooded her tactical display. Neural patterns, quantum states, consciousness waves all intermingling. The Voidborn ships pulsed in response, their shared network reaching out to investigate this new phenomenon. They're receiving. Tanaka's excitement was clear. The quantum signatures are aligning. Lieutenant Reeves, focus on projecting understanding, curiosity, peace. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the Voidborn ships began to move, their formation shifting into a complex geometric pattern that mirrored the quantum harmonics of the transmission. Captain, Reeves's voice was strained but filled with wonder. They're beautiful. Their consciousness, it's vast, ancient. They've been searching for others like themselves for so long. Life signs critical. Kumar interrupted. The neural load is too much for her system. Diana felt her heart race. Pull her out. Dr. Tanaka, shut it down. Wait. Reeves gasped. They're showing me something. Their world, their stars, dying. They didn't come here to destroy us. They came to survive, to learn. Lieutenant Reeves's voice cut off as her vital signs crashed. Medical teams rushed to the quantum lab as the transmission array powered down. Above the facility, the Voidborn fleet had frozen in their geometric pattern. Get me ship-wide, Diana ordered. As the channel opened, she took a deep breath. All hands, prepare for anything. The Voidborn ships began to move again, but differently now. Gone was the predatory grace, replaced by something more deliberate, almost ceremonial. A new transmission cut through all frequencies. No translation needed this time. The future of both species hung in the balance as the first true communication from the Voidborn emerged, not in words, but in pure quantum consciousness, carrying understanding, regret, and possibility. The quantum consciousness transmission from the Voidborn lasted exactly 3 minutes and 14 seconds. When it ended, Lieutenant Reeves lay in medical bay, her mind struggling to process what she'd experienced, while Captain Rodriguez faced a decision that would affect 2 civilizations. "Play it again," Diana ordered, standing in the facility's main control room with Dr. Tanaka and her senior staff. The holographic display showed the quantum wave patterns of the Voidborn message, a complex tapestry of information that defied conventional translation. "Their star systems are dying," Dr. Kumar explained, highlighting patterns in the data. "Thousands of worlds, millions of connected consciousnesses, all facing extinction as their galaxy's core destabilizes. So they came here looking for salvation," Commander Patil added, "but their collective consciousness couldn't comprehend individual beings. They saw us as resources, not people." The warning klaxon cut through their discussion. Lieutenant Harrison's voice came through the comm. "Captain, we've got problems. Major energy fluctuations in the colony's power grid." Diana rushed to the nearest terminal, pulling up security feeds. Throughout the colony, lights were flickering, systems failing. But it wasn't random. It was coordinated. They weren't just scanning us during those first attacks, Dr. Tanaka realized, her face pale. They were inserting quantum data packets into our networks, seeding our systems with themselves. "A quantum consciousness virus," Kumar breathed. "They've been here all along, watching, learning, preparing." Security feeds showed chaos erupting across the colony. Machinery moved on its own, environmental systems went haywire, and automated defense turrets began targeting evacuation ships. "Get me Colonel Winters at Colony Defense," Diana ordered. As the gruff face of the colonial military commander appeared, she could see weapons fire in the background. "Status report." "It's a nightmare, Captain. Every automated system is compromised. The Voidborn consciousness is spreading through our quantum-enabled tech like wildfire. We've got rogue drones, malfunctioning life support, and..." He ducked as an explosion rocked his command center. "We need to shut everything down. A complete quantum blackout would kill life support for half the colony." Tanaka protested. "We'd lose thousands." Diana felt the weight of command bearing down harder than ever. "Dr. Tanaka, can we purge their influence from the systems?" "Not without destroying the quantum infrastructure itself. They're too deeply embedded." The scientist paused, then added, "But maybe we don't have to purge them. Maybe we can convince them." "Convince a viral alien consciousness?" Patil asked incredulously. "They're not just a virus." Reeves's voice came weakly from the doorway. The lieutenant stood there, supported by a medical drone, her eyes intense despite her exhaustion. "They're scared, desperate, but they can learn, adapt, understand." Diana studied her crew member carefully. "What exactly did you see in their consciousness, Lieutenant?" "Their society evolved differently than ours. Individual consciousness never developed. They've always been connected, always been one. Separation is death to them, but they can change. They're changing now, learning from us even as they try to survive." Another explosion rocked the facility. Through the viewport, Diana could see the Voidborn fleet still holding their geometric pattern, waiting. "Captain," Harrison called out again, "colony power grid is approaching critical. We've got minutes before total system failure." Diana looked at her people, the soldiers ready to fight, the scientists trying to understand, and Reeves, who had touched an alien mind and seen hope. She made her decision. "Dr. Tanaka, power up the quantum transmission array again. Lieutenant Reeves, I know you're barely standing, but we need you one more time." "Diana, you can't," Kumar protested. "Another deep connection could kill her." "Not if we share the load," Diana replied. Dr. Tanaka, can you link multiple consciousnesses to the array? The scientist's eyes widened. Yes, we could distribute the neural burden across several minds. But who? Me, Diana said firmly, and anyone else willing to risk their sanity to save both our species. She turned to her crew. I won't order this. It's completely voluntary. One by one, they stepped forward. Kumar, Patel, even Harrison patching in from the Athena's bridge. As they took positions around the transmission array, Diana felt fear wrestling with determination in her gut. Colonel Winters, she called out, hold on for just a few more minutes. Either we're about to solve this, or she left the alternative unspoken. Dr. Tanaka's fingers flew across the controls, connecting their minds to the quantum network. Diana felt the first brush of alien consciousness against her own. Vast, cold, terrifyingly different. But there was something else there too, something Reeves had sensed. Hope. As their merged consciousness reached out to the Voidborn, both in orbit and in the colony systems, Diana held on to one thought. Humanity had survived this long by adapting, by reaching out, by finding ways to turn enemies into allies. Now it was time to prove that evolution went both ways. The quantum transmission began, and 5 human minds dove into an ocean of alien thought, carrying with them humanity's greatest weapons: empathy, creativity, and the determination to find a better way. The merging of minds felt like diving into liquid starlight. Diana Rodriguez had experienced simulators, virtual reality, and every kind of training the Space Force offered, but nothing could have prepared her for the reality of joining consciousness with an alien hive mind. Through the quantum link, she sensed her crew's presence: Kumar's analytical precision, Patel's tactical awareness, Harrison's spatial intuition, and Reeves's newfound understanding of the Voidborn. Together, they formed an island of individual thoughts in an ocean of collective consciousness. Their history, Kumar's thoughts echoed through the link. It's beautiful. Diana saw it too. Countless generations of Voidborn, existing as pure energy and thought, spreading across their galaxy in perfect harmony, until the stars began to die. Show them ours, Diana projected. Show them everything. Human history flooded through the quantum network. Their struggles, their triumphs, their endless capacity to adapt and grow. The Voidborn consciousness rippled with something akin to surprise as they witnessed humanity's journey from cave paintings to quantum ships. In the physical world, alarms still blared as colony systems fought against themselves. But in the quantum realm, understanding began to bloom. They never meant to destroy. Reeves's thoughts came through clearly. Their consciousness was trying to preserve itself the only way it knew how, by spreading, by converting, by absorbing. But they can learn another way. Diana pushed the concept forward. We can help them exist as they are, without overriding what we are. The Voidborn presence shifted, its vast intelligence grappling with new concepts: individual existence, cooperation between separate beings, the strength found in diversity rather than uniformity. Through the link, Diana felt the colony's systems beginning to stabilize. The Voidborn influence remained, but it was changing, adapting, learning to coexist rather than overwhelm. The quantum core. Kumar's thoughts suddenly spiked with excitement. Captain, I understand now. Their consciousness, it can interface directly with our quantum technology. Not to control it, but to enhance it. Diana grasped the implications immediately. The Voidborn weren't just seeking refuge. They could offer humanity a leap forward in technological evolution. A true symbiosis. They're willing, Reeves confirmed, her consciousness brushing against the alien thoughts. But they need to know we won't fear them, won't try to destroy them once we understand their power. In orbit, the Voidborn fleet began to move again, but not in attack formation. Their ships descended slowly, taking positions around the quantum research facility. Energy patterns shifted as they interfaced with the colony systems, but this time it wasn't an invasion, it was an offering. Look, Patel's thoughts drew their attention to new data flowing through the quantum network. The Voidborn were sharing their understanding of stellar engineering, of consciousness transfer, of technologies humanity had only dreamed of. Diana made her decision. Through the quantum link, she projected images of Earth's other colonies, of worlds that could support both physical and quantum life forms, places where humanity and the Voidborn could work together, learn from each other, grow beyond what either species could achieve alone. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Acceptance, relief, and something that could only be described as joy rippled through the collective consciousness. In the physical world, the chaos subsided. Colony systems came back online, now operating with unprecedented efficiency as Voidborn consciousness worked in harmony with human technology. The fleet in orbit shifted again, their ships' quantum signatures aligning with the Athena systems in a gesture of trust and cooperation. As the neural link began to dissolve, Diana caught one last impression from the Voidborn consciousness, an image of two galaxies, one dying, one alive, and a bridge of light between them. Not an invasion force, but a migration of hope. The quantum transmission ended, leaving Diana and her crew exhausted but changed. They had touched the infinite and returned with more than just understanding. They had forged the beginning of humanity's next great journey. Captain, Harrison's voice came through the conventional comm system, tinged with awe. You need to see this. The main viewer activated, showing the space above Kepler 186f. The Voidborn ships had arranged themselves in a new pattern, their quantum-shifted hulls creating a spectacular display of light and energy. It took Diana a moment to recognize the shape they had formed, a double helix, the symbol of life itself, stretched across the stars. Dr. Tanaka laughed softly beside her. Well, Captain, I believe this is what they call first contact done right. Diana watched as colony ships resumed their normal operations, now accompanied by Voidborn vessels acting as quantum-enhanced escorts. On the ground, scientists and engineers were already gathering to begin working with their new allies, eager to explore the possibilities of their combined knowledge. Send word to Earth, she ordered, a smile playing at her lips. Tell them humanity just got a lot bigger, and the universe just got a lot more interesting. The quantum core of the U.S. Athena pulsed with renewed energy, its systems harmonizing with Voidborn consciousness in ways its designers had never imagined. As Diana looked out at the new future taking shape before her, she knew that this was only the beginning. Humanity had reached for the stars and found not just intelligent life, but a way to transcend the boundaries of consciousness itself. The next chapter would be written together, in letters of light across the quantum depths of space.